Today we're here, episode 18. We have Ricky Simone, UFC fighter, on the show today with us on the No BS show. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, man, it's been a crazy year and a half for you, from getting married to being on the UFC and everything like that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the past year of your life?
Yeah, it's definitely been a busy one. I got signed to the UFC about 16 months ago.
Yeah.
I got engaged shortly after that, so we went right into wedding planning. So I've had 4 fights in the UFC since I've been signed, and I went through the whole wedding planning stage. Got married 2 weeks before my last fight, so it's been busy, but it's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. Yeah, it's been crazy to watch you over the last 16 months in the UFC, see the different fights and everything like that, and that's really cool. So with the UFC and everything like that, so how did you get started with MMA? Kind of tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, my dad, I have one older brother. I have 4 brothers, but I'm the second oldest, and my dad and my older brother would always watch the Pride fights and the UFC fights, starting when I was super young, and I'd always pretend to like them and watch them with them, just because I wanted to hang out with them. But I was these guys are crazy.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
But we got into wrestling. My older brother and I at a pretty young age, and we grew up beating each other. My parents bought us boxing gloves when we were really young and said, "You guys have like problems between each other. You guys figure it out.
Yeah,
don't come to us crying." They actually
you guys just duke it out, huh?
So he beat me up every day until I think about like 6th grade. I finally was able to start beating my older brother, and we'd go back and forth. And I decided, I wrestled throughout high school. I decided not to wrestle in college. And one of my old wrestling buddies, Jake Smith, who's in Bellator now, was training at a gym in the mall. And I was walking by, and I ran into him. And he's like, "Hey, you should start training. You'd be good."
You're in the Vancouver Mall?
Vancouver
Mall.
Oh,
wow, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And I started training, took a fight after a month of training.
Yeah.
And just fell in love with it pretty quick.
Oh, there you go. So you just jumped right into it, didn't look back, huh?
Yeah, I think I fought like every other month. I think I had maybe 7 or 8 fights in my first year, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Usually you wait like a year or two to take a fight after training and learning everything, because it's mixed martial arts. There's so many different aspects to it. So, and
there's so many different leagues and everything too, right? So how did you, or tell us a little bit about how you navigated your way from starting off training there at the mall to make it on the grand stage of the UFC?
Yeah, so it's tough. It's tough because it's still a pretty new sport. So there's not really a blueprint in how to just make it in the UFC. Right. A lot of it is there's these mega teams out there, and if you're part of these big teams, then you usually have an easier route. But really, you just got to scratch and claw on all the regional on the regional circuit. Mm-hmm. You go through being an amateur, and once you and your coaches decide that you're ready to go pro, really you try to get fights wherever you can. You drive to Seattle. There's some fights over here in Portland, or you try. A lot of our guys go to Canada. So you try to get to about 5, 6, 7, 8 fights, and then try to get picked up by a little bit the next level. Yeah. There's some other promotions out there that aren't quite UFC level, but are still right there. And then usually those shows are where you can make a name for yourself. Got it. And then get in. So
it's about getting out there and getting exposure, getting seen, putting in the work, and just getting in front of as many people as you can. From the sounds of it,
yeah. And for a while there, I was. We were trying to be strategic, kind of just all right, try to fight here, try to fight there. And then it got to a point where I was like, I'm just gonna stay ready at any point, and take any opportunity that comes, so I can just try to if I'm as good as I think I am, and I think I should be in the UFC, then I need to prove it. So
just be ready, stay ready, and that way when the chance is there in front of you and you have that opportunity, you can just jump on it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So with the obviously tens of thousands of people want to be in the UFC. So with you, what do you think with your work ethic, or with you, what was it that kind of broke you through or was able to get you to make it to the UFC? I
think it was that. Me kind of changing my mindset and not being like, oh, why not me? Why not me? Why? I deserve this. And I kind of just said let's just just do what we've always known, is just work hard, show up to practice, and just keep working hard. And whenever there's a difference between when everyone tells you it's going to happen, and then when you start telling yourself it's going to happen. Yeah. I had an opportunity. The UFC called me up on a 3 weeks notice to fight on their Contender Series, which is really weird. You fight in a gym just with the UFC bosses, the presidents and the matchmakers, and you can only bring. You can't buy tickets in. You can only bring 5 people. Okay. So it's a very intimate setting. Yeah, right. And it's really quiet, and they're like, all right,
it's like a tryout in a way.
Yeah. So there's 5 fights on the card, and then you just got to try to they're going to pick one person to get signed.
Yeah.
So I fought there. I won my fight, and I didn't get signed. So I was that close, and so I right after the fight, I went up to the match. I'm like, all right, I didn't get signed. What do you want me to do? Yeah. And that's what he told me. He said, just stay ready. So I just stayed ready. Took a couple more fights, won those, and then I got another short notice call in, and that's that's that mindset that just be ready at all times, and that ended up working for me and get me in.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things that I took away just from that too was like your mindset and the why not me? Why is everybody else getting this and not me? And you started, it's going to be me. You started believing in yourself and putting in the work that it's going to happen. And I think like with success or in life, if you want to get to that next level, whether it's in the UFC or another sport or owning your own business, you have to be able to have that mindset of just putting in the work, and you have to believe in yourself and know that you can do it and stay positive and just keep putting in the work. Because eventually if you do that for a long enough period of time, you'll have that opportunity, right? Yep. Like, I mean, you just didn't wake up a year ago and start fighting, and then now you're in the UFC. It took how many years were you training and fighting before making it?
About 7, yeah.
About 7 years. So 7 years of putting in countless hours of work, because I'm sure like with that, I mean, walk us through, I guess, like a typical training week for yourself. I mean, because I'm sure there's a lot of hours. It's not like you go to the gym for an hour, you get a little training in, and then you're good to go. Like, there's a lot of work that goes into it, I can imagine.
Yeah, and typical week, we train Monday through Saturday. I take Sunday off.
Yeah.
And
good to have a rest day, right?
Yeah. And we, it depends. Like, obviously, when you're in camp, you're training a little. Like, if I'm getting ready for a fight, I'm gonna be the practice there will be a little more intense and a little more frequent. But usually, we train 2 to 4 times a day, depending on the day, 6 days a week. But it's mixed martial arts. Yeah. So you got to cover all your bases. I have a boxing coach, I have a Muay Thai coach, a Jiu-Jitsu coach, a strength and conditioning coach. Yeah. So that's me going to strength and conditioning gym to get make sure I'm strong, make sure I'm in shape for these, because 5-minute round is tough, and then you got 3 5-minute rounds, 5 5-minute rounds. So you got to be ready. The worst thing that could happen is you get tired and someone's on top of you punching you.
And you can't defend yourself, right?
So and then we set up privates with like boxing coach. I have a great boxing coach who's national champion, Olympic trial winner, Andy Minsker, and then my jiu-jitsu coach is a multi-time world champion, black belt, Fabiana Scherner. So
so you surround yourself with a great team of people to help you.
And obviously like I said, I started on the mall. Yeah. You get to a certain point, you got to keep pushing yourself. So we found this gym out in Portland that that is great. American Top Team Portland. Okay. That all the top fighters in the Northwest are kind of flocking to right now. So
there we go.
Just surrounding myself with the best teammates and the best coaches.
Absolutely. That's the way to do it. As you start getting that success, as you start moving up, you got to level up your game and surround yourself with those people that are going to be there to support you. And if you want to be the best, you got to surround yourself with the best. And that's just going to lead to nothing but you getting better and better out there with your career and everything. So, so what would you say your biggest motivating factor to keep improving and keep getting better out there would be?
I've always been very self-motivated. I'm always trying to best myself. I put a lot of pressure on myself just to improve all the time, and it's the sport's constantly evolving. Yeah. So you've seen people doing something like Mighty Mouse suplex someone into an armbar. Right. You got Ben Askren just throwing flying knees right off the bat, and the Pettis jumping off the cage. It's it's evolving every day, and so you gotta keep trying to get better. You're gonna get left behind. You gotta evolve with it. So, and I would also say my families they motivate me so much. Just from where we've come from, and getting to take my family to travel with me to these fights, and it just kind of seems surreal. So they're definitely a motivating factor for me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So obviously you just had a huge fight against a UFC legend, Uriah Faber. And then you kind of had your first loss or setback in, over 3 years, I believe was the last time you had your last loss there. So tell us a little bit about how it was fighting the legend Uriah Faber, and then secondly, how do you bounce back and what's next?
Yeah, man, it was awesome fighting. Yeah, it was a little weird just because, usually you're there fight week and you run into your opponent a couple times. It's kind of a lot of is he going to look at me? Am I trying to stare him down? Or what? How's this interaction?
Yeah, right.
And he would just come up to me like, "Wait, what's up, Ricky?" And he was be super nice to me. So it's kind of kind of awkward. Like,
yeah.
you're kinda,
it wasn't a bunch of shit talking back and forth.
He's like
It
a
was
super
just
nice
cool.
guy, and you know, obviously I grew up watching him fight.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the walkout, that was cool just because you know,
Yeah.
I was in hostile territory, and I loved it. I love being in hostile territory. I was soaking it up. And obviously we didn't get the results we wanted. But, you know, I think it just, you know, I feel very strong mentally. And, you know, I don't feel like a loser. I feel like a winner who lost, and I have a winning mindset. You know, so I know I'm going to just keep doing what I've been doing. You know, I had 11 amateur fights. I was 11-0. I'm 15-2 as a pro. I just fought a legend, you know, in his hometown, co-main event.
Yeah.
You know, I'm only 26 years old, so I feel like you know, we're just getting started. So
absolutely.
I know what I got to do. I know. You know, I'm gonna just keep improving. You know, there's always every time you go out there, you roll the dice. You know, you have 4-ounce gloves on. You're swinging at each other. So
that's true.
So yeah, I'm super excited. I did just see that Frank Mir right before I came in here announced that he was coming down to 135.
Okay.
And he wants to fight in November. So I don't know if they would
calling your shot right there, going for Frankie Edgar.
Yeah,
that's
what's up. A little tweet out there. That'd be sick. I missed my shot with one legend, so you know, give me another shot with another.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. That'd be fun.
Oh, without a doubt, man. And yeah, it goes back to the mindset too. You know, in life and in business and in sports, you're going to run into those obstacles, and it's about how you recover and how you bounce back from that, and not getting down on yourself and getting defeated. And if you have that belief in yourself, like, hey, yeah, I just got punched in the face, literally, and you know, I'm going to get back up and I'm going to keep fighting, right? Yeah. And that's what you have to do, because no matter what it is, you're going to face challenges that you don't see coming or obstacles that come your way, and you have to really be able to have that tough mindset of, hey, you know, it happens to everybody. You know, the greats always lose from time to time and have a setback, and I'm going to keep fighting and keep getting better every single day. And that's how you recover, and that's how you bounce back, and that's, you know, the exact mindset that you have and all the greats have. So that's definitely what I think really sets up a lot of people for greatness and to really be successful out there. So, obviously there's a lot of, you know, great things about being a UFC fighter, and then there's obviously, I'm sure, some struggles. What do you say would be the hardest part about being a professional fighter would be?
The hardest part, I would say, well, one that comes to mind right away is having to get skinny. That's definitely
the least part, yeah.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, having to get down to 135 pounds. I always say no man should weigh 135 pounds. So, but I think.
What do you walk around weight-wise at? So you dropping like 10 pounds, 20 pounds normally, or is it?
Well, I'm a little bit of a fat boy right now because I'm on vacation, but I usually walk around like 165.
Okay.
162. But you know, obviously I work with a nutritionist and a meal prep company, Champ Meals, to get my weight down, so I can get down to about 149 before I start like a water cut. Yeah. So, but I think honestly the hardest part would be like, because there's no season. There's no season for fighting. It's not like
that's true.
Like a football season, basketball season. You know,
getting that routine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're all year round. So you know, knowing when to take a break and knowing, you know, when not. You know, I should keep pushing here, and having to miss, you know, the holidays, having to miss, you know, birthdays and stuff. Because if you have a fight, you know,
having to move your wedding and your honeymoon around.
Exactly. I had to cancel my honeymoon.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that. But you know, luckily my wife's been with me since the beginning. Yeah. So she's kind of like learned the process with me, and she kind of knows how it goes. So, but that's definitely the hardest part, having to miss out on birthdays and holidays, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine that, and it sounds like you got a great woman with you there that's been with you from day one, and that's obviously fantastic to have that support system, and you know, they kind of get it and understand how that works. So that's cool. So to all the aspiring athletes out there, you know, that are wanting to be the UFC, wanting to be you, what's the biggest piece of advice that you would give them?
Well, if you're trying to be a fighter, definitely take care of your body. That's something, you know, because if you have that fighter mentality, you always just want to push through things. Yeah. And it's hard to know when to tone back. So definitely, you got a lot of young kids who are always asking me what should they do, and I always try to tell them, like, make sure you take care of your body, because I have some, you know, I've had to deal with some things that come back from when I was 19, 20 years old, where like I, you know, tore something or hurt something, and I didn't get taken care of. I'm like, oh, it'll heal up, it'll be fine.
Yeah. So, it's that fighter's mentality, right? Yeah, it's just that you just push through.
Yeah. So that's definitely one, and then the other thing is just really believe in yourself, because you know, my entire life, I think that's been the hardest thing for me, is to believe in myself, and I've always had confidence problems my entire life, and people probably wouldn't even know that just by the way I act.
Carry yourself,
yeah, exactly. But you know, when you're going out in front of 20,000 people, you're getting your head a little bit.
Yeah.
So you just really just got to believe in yourself and follow your dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great advice, and it sounds like a lot of it too, like you were just saying, there's that mental aspect of it, and everybody, even UFC fighter, has those mental doubts and those that self-doubt a little bit, and you just got to keep persevering through that and keep believing in yourself and know that everybody has those doubts, right? So I think that's a true testament to all the kids out there, or all the younger people that are trying to improve their lives, that everybody has those self-doubts, and it's not something to get more down on yourself. Just realize that everybody has it and everybody kind of goes through that. That's something that just realize that, and you're not by yourself with it, and just keep persevering and keep pushing forward. So last question, I gotta ask the hair. Where'd you come up with the idea to start rocking the mullet?
Hey man, so I fought in the Contender Series.
Yeah.
And my coach, I have this one of my head coaches, Ian Loveland. He was in the UFC as well. He was rocking a mullet.
Yeah.
On when he cornered me for that fight, and he actually he got a lot of attention for it, and he thought it was hilarious, and he had to cut it because he got like a 9-to-5 job, and
okay.
like it was a little crazy.
Yeah.
So he cleaned it up, and so I told him I let the mullet live on. So I've just been rocking this ever since.
Yeah, there you go.
Ever since he cut his, and
nice.
and just I kind of did it as a little bit of a joke, and then it caught on.
Yeah.
It caught on. So I get
That's
pictures.
funny.
I get pictures from fans like every day of them growing out their mullets.
Wearing their mullets and all that? That's awesome. That's too funny because I played ice hockey growing up, and a lot of my friends here and the people I work with played ice hockey as well, and the mullet's been a thing in hockey since like the 80s back in the day, and it's like definitely making a comeback again in hockey, and like all the little kids, my son actually has been growing out his mullet for the past year or something like that too, because that's what all the hocky guys are doing and all that, and he absolutely loves you because you got the mullet too. He's like, dude, his hair's so sick when we were watching the fight and all that, so it's just kind of too funny there with that. So thanks again for joining the No BS show. Definitely appreciate your time and you joining us on the show here. So as always, be money, be great, and make it a great day.